Hello, good morning. I thought I'd check in with you all, see how you're all doing, and just have a little chat with you. And yeah, see how we go. Thank you for those who have subscribed and have watched the video. I hope it's given you some ideas and help, some tips. So I was going to talk today because it's come up that parents do struggle with knowing what to say when the anorexia is really bad. And I just thought I'd come in and give you a few tips on what I do and how I deal with it, and and see if you're struggling, give them a go and see what happens really. So first of all, when the anorexia is very loud in their heads, in recovery, it can be the fact that it's running scared and it knows that that person is getting the control back slowly. Or even when they're wanting to recover but not quite ready to recover, that anorexia is very, very loud in their head. So some people deal with it, especially if it's very loud. I know my daughter definitely did. It hits her head when it was really loud, like it was trying to sort of bash it out or get rid of it somehow. So one of the things we do, and it does work and it helps you as well, is get a pillow and scream into it. Get them to scream into it, and you do the same. Doing that, it relieves your stress, their stress, but also can make you giggle as well. So laughter really helps switch that anorexia off and brings your child back to be able to cope with what they're going through. So yeah, scream into a pillow, get a pillow, scream into it, because it really does work, and it will help you as well, because from my point of view, you get that anger as well. You get that frustration, and especially when you just can't get through, do that with them, and it's a relief for everybody. So that's a little tip that I do anyway, so you can give it a go, see if it works or not. The other thing is, when you sit down to eat, and if your child is struggling to eat, just talk to them. Talk to them about anything. Bring up sort of happy times. Look into the future, and if you're wanting to plan something, talk about that. And if it is really bad, and if they're able to, ask them what the anorexia is saying to them, because then you can put that reasoning back into their head. Because when the anorexia is really strong, they haven't got that capability to think to themselves, well, that's ridiculous. Why is it telling me to do that? That's not what I want to do. I need to get my life back. So you have to take that control and change it for them. It can be very difficult, very trying, but that will really help your child or the person that you're with. If they're really, really struggling to eat, to stick with it. Encourage them. Don't get angry with them. The last thing they need is for you to get angry with them, because what they're really wanting to do is eat. But the anorexia is being really nasty to them. And I know how frustrating that can be. Oh, so frustrating. But you need to be patient. This isn't going to last forever. It will get better in time, but you need to be patient, and you need to encourage, and you need to make your child feel safe, because what's happening in their head, that they have no idea. It's just so controlling, so loud. It's like a loud voice in their head that the last thing they need is for you as a parent to get loud and angry and cross with them, because what they really need is your support, your love, and your understanding. Even sometimes when you don't understand, you just need to be there for them, because that will really, really help them, And when they do finish their meal, at the beginning, don't ask them, did they like it? Did it taste good? Let them say to you how they feel about it. Because if you ask them, then the anorexia will jump in. Well, that's what I found anyway. And go, well, why are you asking me that? I shouldn't like it. But if they say to you, actually, I really enjoyed that, then that's really good. But just praise them for having it, and give them a hug, tell them that you love them, and just support them. It's a very, very hard process, especially very early on. If they want to recover but not quite in the recovery stage yet, or if you haven't got that help yet and it's taking hours for them to eat something. The reason why it's taking hours is because they're really hungry, and because the anorexia is so controlling, that child or that person doesn't know when their next meal is going to be, when they're going to be allowed to eat again, because of the anorexia controlling them. So they take as long as possible because they are very, very hungry. So the last thing they need is for you to be shouting. You just need to sit and you need to be patient. And it's very, very difficult, very difficult. But when they do get that help and they are in recovery and they know that they want to recover, and their mindset has changed, and yes, that anorexia is there, but they're not letting it push them as much as it was before. You keep encouraging your child, you keep supporting your child, even when you are absolutely, completely and utterly mentally knackered. You need to keep pushing. You need to keep that support up. It's so difficult, but that is what they need. They need to know you're their cheerleader. You're their one that's cheering them on. You're the one that's there, that's helping them push that anorexia away. And that is what you have to do. And it's very difficult. Oh, so difficult. And I'm sure many of you have gone through this or are going through this now. And when you can, just take some time out for yourself. I know it's easier said than done. Believe me, I do. But that's what you need to do, because you need to be mentally strong enough. Because it affects anorexia. It doesn't just affect that person. It affects the parents, the siblings, the whole family unit. So it's a real juggling act. And it is very, very difficult. But you can do it. You just need to be strong yourself. And if you are struggling, don't be scared to pick up a phone and speak to someone. Your mum, your dad, your friend, whoever, your sister, your brother, it doesn't matter. Whoever, just speak to them, because you're going to have everything going on in your head as well. And you need to let that out, because you need to regroup, reform, and be strong again. And that's really, really important. Really important. For you, for your mental health, your mental well-being as well. They need you. You're their rock. So you need to be strong. Portion sizes, don't worry about portion sizes in recovery. There's no such thing as eating too much in recovery. Let them eat what they want, when they want. When they get those hunger cues, go with those hunger cues. because it's their body saying, brilliant, you're listening to me. So it starts to shout out. Sometimes at the beginning, the hunger cues come out in different ways. So they might say, oh, I've got a bit of a tummy ache, or I'm not feeling very well, or I feel a bit dizzy, or so those can be some of the hunger cues that they get. It's not until further on in recovery that my daughter started saying, actually, I feel hungry now. So, and when their body is saying, I need something, you give it to it, because anorexia obviously it's a mental health illness, but it affects the internal organs. And when it gets really bad, it can have quite a bad effect on your internal organs. So you think how hard their body is working in recovery, how much repair it's having to do to the damaged organs inside. So it needs as much as it can, and more frequently as you recover, because your body's working doubly hard, because they'll be able to do more things, more walking, and be a bit more active than they have been previously. Because of the low body weight, you can't do anything. There's nothing you can do because the body is so weak. And as they recover, their body's getting stronger. So they will need more and more and more, but that's a really good thing. And you run with that. You run with that and you support that 100%. You have to, because that's what they need. And obviously, if you see signs of what you think your child, has anorexia right at the beginning, even if they look healthy, that's not what anorexia is. That your child may be okay with the weight, but it's the mental health illness. And if you don't get that quick enough, get onto that quick enough, then the body will start to deteriorate, because that's what the anorexia does. It makes your body deteriorate because it stops you from wanting things. It won't allow them to have the things that they like, to have the food that they need, to have the fluids that they need, because it's an awful, awful, horrible bully illness. So even if your child seems okay on the outside, but you've noticed changes in their eating that you think, this isn't right, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it and start to seek information and seek a bit of advice and help. Go to Beat, go to their website, seek advice, because what you don't want is your child being consumed by that anorexia. Because once it consumes your child or the person, your loved one, then it's really difficult. It's really difficult, and prevention is better than cure. So if you have noticed different things happening, they start restricting on foods, they're exercising more, and they're restricting their fluids, and they haven't got that sparkle's going, they're angry, they're just seek advice. Seek advice. Try and speak to your child or your loved one. Don't let it get out of control. I know it's easier said than done. Trying to get help is really, really difficult. But please go to Beat, go to their website. They are really good. We tried to get help in the early stages, but it's the fact that, well, her weight's okay. Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm seeing signs. As a parent, as a mum, I can see something's not right. And you have to fight and fight and fight to get that, to get someone to listen to you. And unfortunately, people didn't. And that's when it all went so wrong. So wrong. And it's very frustrating. So please, if you do see different changes and you think, oh, hang on a minute, this isn't quite right, just seek advice, get some information. Yeah, and do that, definitely. But for those of you that your children are in recovery, hold on tight. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. One minute you're like up here, and then the next it's down here, but that's okay, because your child's on the right track and they're doing the right thing. I'm going to put up this time, because I'm not tech savvy, but I will put up the books that I said about my last video. Please, if you can, get them. Amazon, go onto Amazon, order them. They are so good, so good. Please subscribe to my YouTube account. Give me some questions. I'll try and answer them as much as I can. I'm nowhere near qualified in mental health or anything like that. I'm just a mum who's gone and going through it. And if I can give you any help, tips, advice, then I will. What I will say is, sense of humour is a really good one. Laughter is very good. Positivity. Stay focused. Keep motivated. And just be there for your child. Try not to get angry. If you're angry, just walk away, breathe. If your child doesn't need your anger, it's got enough anger in them as it is, because they're fighting this mental battle that you can't see. So yeah, I hope I've helped you a little bit. And yeah, if you've got any questions, please do give me a message and I will try and answer them for you. If you've got any suggestions of my next video, if you'd like me to talk about anything in particular, please do let me know, and I will try to do that for you. Otherwise, I would say have a lovely weekend. Keep smiling, stay positive, stay strong, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.